Hello everyone, welcome back. This week we are in Katwijk.
Katwijk and Z?
Katwijk and Z. I think that's, if we're saying it wrong, let us know. But what we're going to be doing this week is talking a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on in the US right now.
Yeah, we've had a couple private conversations about how unique it is to be watching from afar rather than being immersed in some of the stuff that's been going on there. And we'd like to dive a little bit into that and acknowledge some of what's going on. And talk about how grateful we are to be living here right now.
And also explore around a little bit of the beach. It's our first time here, and also it's our first time for Tabasco to be here.
He's got his little toes in the sand already.
Yep, there he is, exploring a little bit of the sand. We hear there's a Hunden beach, so we're going to see if we can find that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's not super hot yet, so hopefully we'll be able to find some cool stuff.
Yeah, let's do it. Probably the biggest thing that's happened that we've been really worried about is the shooting that happened in Uvalde, Texas.
And all of the mass shootings that continue to happen. There was one yesterday in Maryland.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's something that, you know, looking at it from over here, like as somebody who had a gun and who was okay, it's not something that I worried about. I grew up, you know, doing that in the Boy Scouts and things like that, but there's so many people who just are mentally ill, who are able to get firearms that are just seem really unnecessary, and many times commit acts within hours of getting them. So it's just really, really heartbreaking. And to be honest, as we look forward to having a family and doing that here, it really makes me scared to also move back there and live part of that.
I can't imagine sending my kids to school and having them have to do active shooter drills. And both of our parents were teachers, or both of our moms.
Yeah, I mean, we did those at school though.
I know, because Columbine was a thing when we, were in school. But it's pretty terrifying. Grocery stores, places of work. I mean, there's nowhere that's really safe feeling, and that's incredibly terrifying. And I'm grateful that gun access is fairly limited here, and those kinds of things don't really happen. I know once in a blue moon they do, but not nearly to the point. I think it's over 250 mass shootings that have happened, and we're only halfway through the year. It's just insane.
One of the things that we've been seeing from afar that's been concerning is definitely the stuff going on with Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, we know that nothing is particularly official, but and there's a lot that goes into it. But as a couple that has been dealing with some infertility issues and some drafts in laws and things that are happening, there are states that are looking to actually potentially criminalize the IVF process. And as a couple that is undergoing that process right now, that is very scary. Infertility is not a choice, and having that option taken away for a lot of couples who have a desire to have a child is really heartbreaking. So again, we're very grateful to be living in a country where not only is it accessible, it's affordable as well. So that's definitely been front of mind for us as what we're going through here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other things that are tied to it as well. And we're not super political people, but it's definitely a lot of people who don't really seem to understand what they're doing or how it affects people, making broad sweeping changes that affect a lot of other people.
I am very grateful to be a woman living here where I have autonomy over my body. So.
What are your thoughts as we walk along the beach here? Pretty near Leiden, actually.
On a lighter note, I am kind of kicking myself for not coming out here sooner. It took us 9 months to come out here, and it is incredible that it's that close to Leiden.
Yeah, and also Tabasco really seems to like it, so that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it's his first time on the beach, and he's been doing great. I think he really enjoyed it. So we're gonna walk around to town somewhere, I think. And what are your thoughts?
Yeah, let's check out some of the city. I want to see what the actual part that's not the beach looks like and go from there. The last thing that's on our list is right now the stuff that's going on with the January 6th hearings.
Actually, last night was the first public hearing that was aired in prime time in the United States, and we caught up a little bit on it this morning. And there's more and more stuff coming out that's very concerning.
Yeah, it really seems to be that it's one of these types of things that, 20, 30 years ago, these would have been isolated people that have these thoughts of maybe some people should do something, but it really feels with social media and things like that it's really getting a lot crazier and a lot more intense.
Yeah, the United States is incredibly divided right now. And although we're not fully aware of the politics here in the Netherlands, it does seem to a much lesser extent here, which is different. But being in the United States on January 6th when it happened, it was incredibly shocking to hear and see what was going on. And now, kind of rewatching it, it still feels fresh in our mind.
Yeah, it's definitely a crazy experience, and even crazier to see it from afar. And I think that wraps up probably the biggest things that we've been seeing as we've been here, and has to do with the U.S. That's more of a general stuff, not personal and family.
Yeah, and we realize that no country is a perfect utopia, but by plucking ourselves out of our norm and watching what's happening from afar, it's troubling. And every time I see something that has to do with what we mentioned, it makes me grateful to live here even more.
And I think one of the things that's really about it is so much of the news seems to be about the U.S. Even over here, we hear about the U.S. so much, and when we were in the U.S., we rarely heard about stuff that was happening in Europe. So it really does feel that, and maybe it's our lens being people that are from America being here, that's the type of content that we get.
We've even had conversations when people find out that we're from the United States. It's a lot of, well, what are your feelings on this? What are your feelings on that? And, America looks pretty wild compared to a lot of other countries based on what you see. So, like I said, we're grateful to be living here. I feel like our quality of life has improved here a little bit. It's definitely a lot more drama-free from what I can see so far.
And all of it, if I had to wrap it all up into a bow, what's different 30, 40 years ago from what's different now, it just really seems to be that mental health is becoming more and more of a crisis in the U.S. And I'm not saying it's perfect here, but it's definitely something I think needs to be addressed in a major way.
And we're big advocates for mental health. Mental health is not your fault, but it is your responsibility.
Yeah.
And if you can't get the help that you need, it can turn into something not great.
On that heavy note, unfortunately, we're gonna leave it for this week. Tune in next week. We're we're gonna try something a little bit more lighthearted and something that's gonna be a little bit fun. Trying some foods that we've never had before. So check into that.
Yeah, thank you so much for listening to us. We hope you get a little bit of insight into our thought process. It's just been kind of weighing on us the last couple weeks, and we wanted to address it. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. We will see you next week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. We love interacting with all of you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.